How's it going, traders? It's the Papa Wall Street back with another weekend review. Today we're going to look at my top tech charts going into next week. If you enjoy my content, make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel below. These two actions will help more people see my work. And also don't forget to hit the notification bell so you know when these videos come out. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about this video. And lastly, keep in mind, this is not financial advice. I'm doing this for educational purposes only. So let's dig into the charts. First up is going to be Apple, and you can see, the theme of this video is going to be where are we going to bounce, because everything is coming down. Tech definitely looks relatively weak to the market, as it has been, honestly, for quite some time. But yeah, a lot of downward pressure, right? We had this bearish engulfing, double key close reversal. We lost the 30 SMA. We lost the recent swing low anchored VWAP. And we are coming down to the 382 here at 149.70. So far, that's acted as a bit of support. I watched Apple very closely on Friday, and it continued to come down to that level Thursday and Friday and bounced. And we actually closed over 150, closing at 150.43 on Friday. So the note I had for this week, the 618 retrace at 147.22, that's right here. That's going to be my line in the sand. That's going to be the 618 from that swing right there. We get below there, and I think we're testing these lows at 128.88. That's going to be your COVID low anchored VWAP here, this blue line that you see coming out. That would be the area I would watch if we lose or undercut those lows right there. But it's looking like a lot of these charts are going to come down. If they're not already down to the COVID low anchored VWAP, they're probably going to be coming down there. So a lot of room on RSI to fall, right? And you could see here when we had this drawdown, RSI lost 50 and then came right down and bounced right off of 20. So that's looking likely to happen here on Apple. Again, the market is just looking weak, and I would assume, at least for the rest of September, being the way seasonality is on SPY, that Apple being a big component of SPY, I think that is going to continue to come down. All right, next up is AMD. Semiconductors definitely relatively weak comparative to the rest of the market. This level here, 72.80, called it out to the group. Acted as support, right? A lot of times. How many times can you hit a support line before it breaks? Well, apparently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The sixth time was the charm on AMD. And so for me, this is an excellent short under 72.80. I would be targeting 57.82. I know that's a big level to go down, but that's where the next demand zone is. We had a 3-dot squeeze firing, which means we could get another 3 to 5 days of downward price action. We have plenty of room on RSI to fall. RSI has not been this low for some time. So we're right at that level where we could potentially bounce. But if we continue to fall, plenty of room to fall to the downside. So watch for a move down to 57.82 on AMD. And again, this is a weekly chart, so you have to think that it's not going to come next week. It might come in the next 2 to 3 weeks, though. It's very possible. So let's look at Amazon. Another one, we failed at a 618 at 122.06. Very big candle. A lot of times when you see these 618s break, they break pretty hard. 104.15 would be the level to watch. You can see all these weeks, all the wicks into that, right? Plenty of room on RSI to fall. Look at the resistance on 50. Plenty of resistance there. So 104.15 would be the area I would watch for a potential bounce. Next up is CrowdStrike. This one's been acting relatively strong inside of the sector, but still weak nonetheless, failing at its 50% retrace at 165.24. First area I would watch is maybe a bounce off the center channel. You could see how it's acted as resistance and support throughout this downwards channel. Whenever I see an orderly sell-off within or contained within parallel lines, to me, this is a very signature of counter-trend action, counter-trend price action, where the trend is up, and this is just, possibly a WXY Elliott wave pattern. And again, this could still be a 1-2 setup here. It's very, it would invalidate under 133. So we could see a little bit of a drawdown and then a push back higher on CrowdStrike. But the TTM squeeze here it's looking like it might be a reverse slingshot. So just got to be careful here again. Resistance on 50, resistance on 50, very signature of a sell-off here. The other last thing I'll note, we did lose the COVID low anchored VWAP here this week. So again, my downside target would be that 618 at 133.80. Next up is Datadog, 114, very tough level as you can see. And looking like we might come down and test these levels here around $80. TTM squeeze setting up, resistance on 50 on RSI, MACD very flat and negative. So watch the lows here on Datadog. Meta, this one, another one that for me, this got the party started early. 2 weeks ago, we broke down on 155. A short position was put out as a trade alert. We're coming into these levels here. So if you're still in that short, just be very careful into this 143 to 140 level. Prior support here back on that COVID sell-off. If we continue to sell off under that, then 123.71 would be my target. That was the January 2019 low. The one thing that I am noting, we're getting lower lows on price, but we're getting higher lows on RSI. So that is bullish divergence. And we are on a weekly, so this could take a little bit to play out, but I would continue to watch this bullish divergence. You're also seeing bullish divergence on MACD as well. So we might get a reversal. This could be the area to watch for the reversal, but if we don't, then 123 would be next. Next up is Microsoft. So you have a long-term trend line going back, I think, to 2016. So you saw the bounce here on 2019, the bounce here on the COVID low in 2020. Then we're starting to triple test this bounce level. And we finally broke down last week and a continuation this past week. So for me, I'm looking at 213.62. We had a 1-dot squeeze. That's, again, a weekly chart. So we potentially could see another, 6 to 7 weeks of downward price action on Microsoft with this squeeze firing on a reverse slingshot. So we are somewhat close to oversold conditions, but we can continue to sell off. 213 would be my target to the downside, potentially 200, and then 190 could come as well. Next up is Nvidia. Coming into an area very similar to what we were looking at on AMD, right? So this 122 level, right, acting as support for now. 2-week support right there, 2-week support right there. So yeah, under 122.64, I think 109.80 comes next. 2-dot squeeze, so 2-weekly squeeze, but we are pretty close to being oversold, so you got to be careful. I would not be chasing these names that are very close to being oversold. The only ones I would watch are the ones that are slightly under 50, but well above the 30 line on RSI. Next up is Shopify. This is a great short candidate right here. We've been watching this for a long time. I don't know, what is that, about 3 or 4 months that we've been trading within this range of 30 to 42. We finally broke down this week. So squeeze setting up, RSI pretty weak, but another one that is showing bullish divergence on RSI and on MACD. So you do have to be careful. But if we continue to hold under 29.68, I would expect 17.77 to come in time. Next up is Snow. Very much like CrowdStrike, this one has been bucking the trend a bit. It's still, it doesn't look great, right? But it's holding right at 50 RSI. MACD is crossed over, nice rounded bottom base, and potential cup and handle here, right? So I think if we hold over 167, I'm still fairly bullish on Snow. We're holding over 167. We're holding over a declining and flattening 30 simple moving average. We have a TTM squeeze that for now, it looks like momentum may have flattened out, but I think next week will really tell the tale. But if we hold over 167, I would expect 200 to come. That's a big level. You break over 200 on Snow, and I'm very bullish. 222, 257, 292 would be my targets to the upside over time. And here is our last chart, Tesla. This one was really showing some really nice relative strength over the last couple of weeks, but finally last week it broke down. But bearish engulfing candle, no squeezes, but we're holding right at 50 RSI. So there's a shot that Tesla can turn around this week and put in that wave 4 low and give us our wave 5 high. But under 260, I think this has got a shot to come back down. Got a nice supply zone between 213 and 245. And then just watch if we test those lows. Obviously, if we come below 260, then it negates this wave count, right? Potential 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we break below 260, it negates that wave count. Something else is obviously going on. I'll rework the wave count from there. But for now, Tesla looked weak this particular week, but it easily can come back and show relative strength this week. So going to keep a close eye on it. So those are my top tech charts. I go over them every week. I put out trade ideas throughout the week with my 30-minute day trading levels. So if you are interested in seeing some trade alerts that I put out from a swing or a day trading perspective, feel free to go to pupcharts.com and sign up for my technical analysis course. It comes with 20 plus hours of video content, and I send out morning emails to my members every single morning around 8:30 Eastern time to give everybody an update on what I'm seeing from a relative strength perspective. So love to see you on the other side. Appreciate the support of all my members, and good luck in the markets next week. Remember, just be patient. This market is a bit volatile right now. September is a very weak month from a seasonality standpoint, but we should see some better trades going into the last quarter of the year. So take care, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Catch you in the markets next week.